Hello everyone. In today's video, I will discuss about cholinergic receptors and specifically for nicotinic receptor. The cholinergic receptors are of two types, the muscarinic type and then the nicotinic type. Muscarinic receptor are again of five types, M1, M2, M3, M4 and M5. I already have made video on muscarinic receptor. Now nicotinic receptor can be divided into two major forms, that is NM type and NN type. I will get into the details of these receptors later on. I will discuss the details of these receptors under their subtype, the synaptic location, the membrane response, molecular mechanism, the agonist for those type of receptors and then the antagonist. Before that, the nicotinic receptor is of pentameric structure type, or it is they are a ligand gated ion channel type of receptor. That means upon binding of any agonist, they will open and then there will be influx of the some cations, sodium or the calcium cations. They are the pentameric structure and there is a formation of central poles. The pentamer, the subunits are organized in such a way that in the middle there is a pore, and pentameric because there are five subunits. Five subunits can be alpha, the beta, the gamma, delta or epsilon. Usually alpha are present in two numbers. So we have alpha here or here, and then beta and then delta or epsilon. Gamma is not seen here because this is a longitudinal section, longitudinal view. And then upon agonist binding at the interface of alpha and beta or delta, alpha and delta, there is opening of the channel. Upon stimulation of these type of receptor, there is increase or rapid increase in the cellular permeability for sodium and calcium. And it can be of NM type and can be of NN type. Now neuronal type, this is neuronal type. Neuronal type can be of peripheral neuronal type or the CNS neuronal type. We'll discuss this one first. NM type, these are present in the skeletal muscle or neuromuscular junction, and specifically they are present mostly at the post-junctional space. I'll come into the configuration later on. So the membrane response upon stimulation of this type of receptor, it will cause end plate depolarization and skeletal muscle contraction, and these are usually excitatory. Nicotinic receptor as such only they are excitatory in nature, whereas muscarinic receptor can be excitatory or inhibitory type. Upon stimulation there is increased permeability of the cation, and the agonist, that means those drugs which will cause excitation or which will cause opening of the channel, are the acetylcholine, nicotine and succinylcholine. Whereas antagonist, which will block the action of agonist, are atracurium, bicuronium, DTC and pancuronium. These drugs usually cause the opposite action or the blockage of the agonistic action, and they will cause skeletal muscle relaxation. Now the configuration, as I told, the subunits are these. So here the configuration, there are two alpha 1 type. There is one beta 1 and there is one epsilon and one delta. Now alpha, there are 9 type, alpha 2 to alpha 10, there are 9 type. Whereas for beta there is 3 type, beta 2 to beta 4, 3 types are there. So they are configured like this, and they are configured this way in innervated fetus or denervated adults muscles. Whereas for adult, only difference is the gamma. Epsilon is not there, in place there is gamma. Now coming to peripheral neuronal. Neuronal two types, peripheral neuronal and CNS neuronal. And the peripheral neuronal are present at the autonomic ganglia, the adrenal medulla. These type of receptor, the neuronal receptor, can be present at pre-junctional, the post-junctional or perijunctional, or perisynaptic, postsynaptic and presynaptic. The presynaptic and the perisynaptic types can be of autoreceptor type and heteroreceptor type, and they regulate the acetylcholine, dopamine, glutamate transmitter release. So peripheral neuron type, autonomic ganglia and adrenal medulla presence, and then it causes excitation, it causes depolarization upon stimulation. There is secretion of catecholamine, then postganglionic neuronal stimulation is also there. Mechanism is same. The agonists are acetylcholine, nicotine and epibutidine, whereas antagonist can be trimethophan and mecamelamine. The configuration is of this type. There are 3 alpha subunits, of which type? Alpha 3 type, sorry 2. Alpha is of 2 type, of alpha 3, and then beta is of 3 subunits. 3 subunits of beta are there, and then subtype is beta 4. Coming to CNS neuronal, there are 2 types, alpha bungarotoxin insensitive and alpha bungarotoxin sensitive. Bungarotoxin is a toxin found in the snake, the carrot type of snake, and these are present in the CNS pre-post junctional, as I told, and perisynaptic also. The membrane response can be the excitation of pre and post synaptic. Then it controls the release of pre-junctional transmitter. And the first type, that is the alpha bungarotoxin insensitive, they act by increasing the cationic permeability of sodium type, whereas this is for calcium type. Here the agonists are cytosine, epibutidine and enotoxin, and here the agonist is enotoxin. Whereas for antagonist it can be mecamelamine, the arisodine and lufotoxin, and here the bungarotoxin and conotoxin are the important antagonists for this type. Now coming to the configuration, one more example is of this type. If I'll take, here is the central core, here they are the subunits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here if I'll take this one, then alpha 1 is here, because 2 alpha are there. Then there is beta 1 is 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have gamma and delta. We have gamma, delta here, gamma here, and beta here, beta 1. So the ligand will bind onto this interface and onto this interface, alpha and the gamma interface and alpha and delta interface. So this is how the configuration of the nicotinic receptor is organized. So this was all about the nicotinic receptor.